Absolutely. Well, sorry that I was a little late. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and then we will get right into it. So thank you so much for coming today, and here we go. All right, can everybody see is it just a big screen or is it the weird that have like notes on the side? Has the notes on the side?
Yes, I
Okay.
see the whole screen.
All right. Ah, here we go. One, two, here we go. Okay, how about now?
Yes, that's right.
There we go. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for coming today. My name is Christine Padilla. I am the Regional Office Coordinator for Southeast for WWBIC. And I'm also an entrepreneur. Very excited because 2 weeks I will be celebrating 10 years of my business. So, whew, 10 years goes by real fast. But here we go. So first off, I want to just talk a little bit about WWBIC and who we are. We are a nonprofit organization, and what we do, we are all around small business. That's what we do. I've been with WWBIC for 4 years, and I just love that all the resources that we offer. So we offer over 350 free trainings all around small business. We've been around for since 1987. We serve everybody in the state of Wisconsin, and we have different areas, different locations, of course, Southeast, then Madison, Milwaukee, La Crosse, Appleton. So we have a lot of different resources. We have partners. And we have different trainings, such as this one about access to capital, but we also offer trainings, marketing, HR, everything that you can imagine. Go on our website at wbic.com for more information. And of course, I'll put my email in the chat box if you wanted to get a hold of me as well. And again, I would love to discuss more with you if you have further questions too. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get down to it here. And of course, I know we're a small group today, so if you have any questions, and you can always feel free to put them in the chat box, and but also you can, feel free to raise your hand and I can answer any questions as well. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about, what does it mean to be loan ready? Talking about some questions that you can maybe expect from a banker and what to be, and questions to ask when preparing for a loan. This should be said, obviously, I'm not a loan officer. However, I will give you all the information that I can. And if you would like to further, I can always get you in touch. We have a lot of banking partners, and I can always get you in touch with our loan officer here at WWBIC, Todd Schlinsky, as well. Okay. We're also going to be talking about different sources of capital and the difference between WIBIC and Kiva lending, which I'm sure you have maybe not heard of Kiva. So I'll be going into what that is. Okay. So what are some of the key requirements to be loan ready? And when we talk about being loan ready, this is not just for WIBIC loan, but this is also when you're getting a loan from a bank. Maybe you're talking to your banker and you're ready for that financing. So a business plan, that is number one. If you are looking for any type of financing, going to a bank, when you're looking for a loan, you need a fleshed out business plan. Luckily, WIBIC helps with that too, and our resource partners help with that. I'm actually offering an in-person training series called Building Out a Business Plan Training Series starting March 24th. If you want more information about that, please let me know. It is a 9-week series, but we take you step by step in writing a business plan, and we have a nice graduation at the end. But a business plan is a must-have in order to apply for a loan because they want to make sure that you know what you're getting into. They want to make sure that you know your industry, target market, pricing. How are you going to get people in your door in order to give you that loan? Because any type of finance is still a risk, and they want to make sure that you are prepared to take on that loan and to be able to make those payments. Understanding your personal financial health, your company's financial health. So basically what that means, you might be here, well, I'm a startup business. I don't know my company's financial health. That's where projections come into play. So at WIBIC, we actually require 3 years financial projections, which basically take it month by month and say, okay, where do you think you'll be based on the knowledge that you know of your industry, and where how many sales do you think in your first month? Guess what? You're not going to have $10,000 worth of sales. If you we see in your projections that you've taken $100,000 divided by 12. That's not going to fly. So we want to make sure that you have realistic expectations because usually you're going to be in the red for at least the first 2 to 3 years, possibly. And we want to make sure that you are ready for that financially when you're starting a business. What is collateral? Understanding what equity is needed for the loan, that is going to be needed based on depending on the type of loan you get. So that's different for everybody. So when talking about collateral, depending on how much of a loan that you're applying for, your financial stability, everything like that. The 5 C's of credit. Credit is always big. You have to have a decent credit score. Um, Again, that varies. WIBIC is different than banking, bankers usually, and then just loan packages. All right. So let's start by what is a business plan? So this is, of course, looking out the business's future objectives and looking at all right, business plan series. I'm just making sure I'm not missing any chat boxes. So that's fabulous. Um, so business plan includes, of course, 6 major components, and we're not going to be going into uh, every single one of them today. But we have executive summary, personal background, business concept, business organization, marketing and sales plan, financial plan. So there's a lot of different components that we need to see in order for you to apply for a loan. And this is where we take you step by step in this accelerated course. It is a 9-week course, and we make sure that you understand, you have your written business plan, you're ready to go. So why does it matter? What does a business plan do? I know a lot of businesses that, oh, well, I started a business. I don't have a business plan. Well, it's not just for a loan. It's for you too. As a business owner, I wrote my business plan, and I review it. I have to adapt. This is a live document, that you want to be editing. When COVID happened, I was so glad I had a written business plan that I was on top of because I was able to adapt that business plan to see how I could survive COVID when we were shut down. You never know what's going to happen in business, right? And you want to be prepared for those emergencies. How do you plan on making sales? What is your marketing strategy going to be? What social media are you going to use? Are you on social media? You should be. um, how are you going to process the procedures? What about your point of sale system? Depending, and of course, it varies depending on if you're a service industry or retail, what kind of industry. And again, it is critical that you have a clearly defined business plan that outlines your operations and financial position. You want to make sure that you have goals. And when I talk to people about writing a business plan, everybody's at a different stage, right? It's okay if you don't need, you don't want 3 different buildings and you might just want to stay for now. You might want to, hey, we have Kenosha Harbor Market. You want to start there. And maybe for now, that's where you want to stay. That is okay. It's okay. It's good to, start small, grow from there. Move that up. Sorry. Okay. So business plan, very important. I will always get down it. And, the other thing nice about a business plan is that you get it out of your mind. It's on paper. You see it. And I will say, every single person that has graduated from my business plan training course, their confidence level grows. It becomes real. It's on the paper. You see it, right? You say, okay, wow, this is my business. I am going to start this. So it makes it real for you. It's no longer in your head. It's on paper. You have it fleshed out. It gives you that confidence. And with WIBIC, with our partners, you have a support system around you, which is great. All right. Whoop, sorry. Whoop. Sorry about that. Okay. Understanding personal financial health. So it is critical. You know your credit score. Credit Karma, it can give you, there's a lot of different credit. You can also talk to your banker about, you can always go to, I think there's The website that's annual credit score. You can get your credit score once a year for free and to see your credit, not your score, but your credit history. I actually just did a add-on training yesterday. I was at the Shalom Center with BMO Bank and we talked about credit and we went really deep dive into credit and why that's important. Do you have a budget? Just knowing your personal financial health. Do you save money every month? If your business fails, could you personally financially afford the business loan payment? These are questions that not only you need to answer for yourself, the loan officer is also going to want to know this. Because again, this is a risk, right? This is taking on you on as a loan client, and they want to know that you're going to be able to make payments. You have a backup plan. What if your business fails? That's why usually, when people take on a loan in their startup businesses, we usually say, okay, do you have a job? Do you have a full-time job on top of this? How are you going to be financially responsible? How are you going to pay your regular bills at the end of the day? So we want to make sure that you are have a stable financial health. If you have any questions about, put them in the chat box and I'll be happy. I know we're throwing a lot at you, but that's why, this is great. Okay. Company's financial health. Why is understanding your company's financial health, financial current and future standing? Now, this is where, like I was talking about, you might not know this, right? Because especially if you're a startup. Now, if you are an existing business, they are going to require bank and WWBIC. We will require your financial statements from your business. So obviously, if you're a startup, this doesn't really apply to you. So we're gonna need both your personal and your business financial statements if you are getting a loan and you're existing. Obviously, you're not going to have that if you don't have a business yet. But if you are existing, we are going to need we will need either way your personal 3 years of financial statements. If existing, your interims, projections, especially if a startup. Your projections are needed, usually 3 years projections. The great thing is WWBIC is there for you, so we can help you with that. And we do take you through that step by step, building out a business plan training series, where we help you. We have a wonderful teacher who takes you through that. And that's one of the couple weeks actually we spend on financials, because that's always a big question. And of course, your, if applicable, accounts receivable, accounts payable, all the fun things. So there's a lot of financial health that you will need to understand. You'll need to be upfront about. You'll need to have that information in order to apply. So collateral, and I know this is a lot of information, but this is good information to just be aware before you apply for a loan or getting ready to apply. That way you know that this is going to be needed. This is necessary information for you. So what is collateral? It's a business asset, that has financial value. So that a lender can sell to recoup the money in case you fail to comply with loan terms. So real estate, vehicles, inventory, equipment, things like that. And it does vary depending on person to person. And it varies depending on the financial institution that you go to as well. Equity, when taking out a business loan, money that you have put into your business. And that you have the ability to put a down deposit on your loan, which is needed no matter where you go. So whether you're with WWBIC or with a bank, you will have to put down a deposit. You will have to we like to say skin in the game, right? You got to have some skin in the game with that loan as well. Any questions? I'm seeing there's no questions so far in the chat box. So collateral, that's the difference between collateral and equity injections. So what's the big deal, right? So we want to make sure to secure their loan, to have its owners pledge collateral. This varies. Of course, like I said, this varies on the loan request and type. So, obviously, not going to be as much. If you're looking for a $30,000 loan compared to a $150,000 loan, well, that's two different varies, right? So they're going to vary based on the person, based on, a lot of different attributes, what is needed by collateral and equity. So again, this is just different. Bank may require an owner to have some of their own, which usually we do. WWBIC does, and I know some banks do. Again, it's just all different. So really, when you're working with your banker or WWBIC, your loan officer, they can definitely give you more information depending on the loan type that you want and the loan amount. Well, okay, let's talk about credit. So there's 5 C's of credit: character, capital, capacity, collateral, and conditions. Okay. So with, everybody has different underwriting criteria. But these are usually evaluated based on some of them. So, everybody's a little bit different, but they're based on the variety of the 5 C's of credit. And of course, just understanding the 5 C's of credit will have a better say better knowledge. So knowing your credit score, even if you go on Credit Karma, I would just, BMO was talking about that. They're like, yeah, we use Credit Karma. Gives you at least somewhere, it'll, gives you a base knowledge of where you stand with your credit score. It's not going to be exact. They go by, just depending, of course, there's the three credit bureaus, right? TransUnion, um, uh, Equifax, and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the third. Oh, that's horrible. But so that, they will base themselves, you can get your, but it's good to know your credit score because that really is going to start okay because that's one of the questions is okay, they do usually need a minimum, right, credit score of some type in order to apply for a loan because your credit history will be very important in order to if you're going to get approved or not and move forward in that loan process. So definitely having an understanding of your credit score and talking to your banker will, give you a, getting, having a good relationship with the banker. And of course, if you do not, if you're on this right now and you do not have a bank or a banker, let me know and I can talk to you. I have a lot of banking partners. I would love to get you in touch with. They're very nice. And, bankers nowadays, it seems really, they want to help. I mean, they really, really want to help their clients understand their financial health because that is so important. And really, oh, thank you. Thank you, Savannah. Yes, I just totally blanked. Experian, there we go. Equifax, the other E, Experian and TransUnion. Thank you. I just blanked on that completely. And the other thing is you can go to those Equifax website too. And so that is also another way to find out your credit score. So there's a lot of different varies of credit. It's just a huge topic of credit. So another thing with loan, right? You got to complete all the needed materials and requirements. So and I have a list. I actually have it. I have it right with me. I have a list of documents that I send that is like, hey, we're going to need these. We're going to need all these documents, same as a loan, a bank, to get a loan. You're going to have a lot of documents. The great thing is, if you're looking for a WWBIC loan, we do help you. I actually have a person in the Southeast that will sit down with you and go over those documents to make sure that you do have everything you need in order before you apply for the loan. It makes it smoother for you. It makes it smoother for us. That way, okay, yep, you have everything you need. And of course, our loan officer will let you know if we need anything extra, but at least to get you started, we will be able to sit down with you and go over everything to make sure that you have everything you need in order to apply for the loan. Okay. So let's talk about the banking side. So they might want to interview you, right? And they want to interview you. They will ask questions that maybe were not answered on the application. clarify information definitely that was in the application and assess your ability to execute the plan provided. So there will be an interview process for WWBIC. When you have a bigger loan, we are backed by the SBA, and basically we actually go through a every month there's a loan committee that they present once you go through the loan process, and then they take the bigger loans. I believe it's over 50,000 will go to loan committee once a month, and you will have to be there and really they will be asking you questions to make sure that you have the knowledge of financial knowledge of your business, and the loan officer will be there as well to provide backup and support for you too. So it is a process. So you will have to be interviewed by your banker and by us as well. So whether you are wherever you're applying, they will be meeting with you and they will be asking you questions about to make sure that you are knowledgeable of everything in your business plan. They want to make sure that you understand what you wrote in your business plan, your financial documents, to make sure that you are loan ready. Oop. So these are some questions that your banker might ask. How will the business repay the loan? How is your cash flow? What if the business fails? Is the collateral sufficient to repay the loan? How does the business collect its bills? How does the business pay bills? So all of these questions they might ask you, and they will expect an answer. Business, how does the business control expenses? Are the officers committed to the business? And what is the business plans for success? Does the business have a profitable operating history? That's more for existing businesses, of course. But these are different questions that might be asked by a banker if you're going to ask for a loan, especially for existing businesses. What is the profitability for the history? What about projections for the business? So these are all very important questions that, if you're looking into getting a loan, this can be scary, but it's also good just to have that in your back of your mind that they are going to be asking you questions, and then you can be prepared as you go through this process. Okay, I don't see any questions right now. Flip it. What about questions to ask your banker, right? So just like getting an interview for a job, I like to compare this with having an interview with a job. You want to bring questions to the table. How do you make lending decisions? Ask your banker that. Don't be afraid of them, right? They are there to answer your questions, just like you are there to answer theirs. Important factors in determining whether a loan will be approved. Will you be able to flex and grow with the company as your business needs to evolve? Let's say you start with a $30,000 loan. Hey, what if in 3 years how can I adjust my loan? Will the bank work with me? What about interest rate? Is it fixed or variable? Have them explain that to you. Penalty for repayment. That's a big one. Can you repay your loan early? That's a big question to ask, or good question to ask. Cost of closing. There's always closing costs. And the type of insurance requirement. So there's a lot of these are good questions to throw back in a way, and for your knowledge too. So if these questions aren't being answered already by the bank or us, ask them. It's okay. They are there for you. They're there to serve you and to make sure, just like they're making sure that you are a good risk to take, you should have your questions ready for them as well. Okay. No, any questions right now? I don't see any in the chat box. Okay. All right. So what about just sources of capital? You, of course, have traditional financing. We have something in the chat that just. So it really varies. Is there a typical type of loan to expect fixed or variable for different things? Yes. I mean, there's just different. So for WWBIC, for instance, WWBIC has fixed interest rates. But again, every financial institution is different and every loan is different. It's hard to say because different things, different opportunities pop up at different times depending on the financial bank. So that's why it's so important to ask your banker about that fixed or variable rates. Because yeah, every loan is a little different, and every financial institution works differently. So it just really varies. I don't have an exact answer for that. But yeah, it's just always good to ask and to research that information. Sorry if that didn't answer your question fully, but it does differ. It does differ depending on the financial institution and loan you're getting. So there's community-based organization financing, um, bootstrapping, and crowdfunding. So I'm really going to hone in more. Well, we'll be talking about the crowdfunding definitely. But let's talk about WIBIC. So WIBIC's lending overview, we have loans up to $350,000. We have fixed loan rates. These are varying. Terms. So we have terms up to 10 years and vary with loan size and purpose. Our big thing, borrowers must be active in day-to-day business. So they must actively involved in your business. If you own a business in Wisconsin and you're out in California or Florida and you're not really involved, we will not loan to you. You have to be active in your business for a WIBIC loan. They can be used for startup costs, inventory, working capital, business expansion, and business support. It's really that business capital lending. That is where we do our loans for. Apply online. They are available in English and Spanish. And the great thing about WIBIC loans, everybody who gets approved for a WIBIC loan has a small business coach that is with them throughout the life of their loan. So this small business consultant can answer questions for you, give you guidance. They're really, really wonderful throughout the life of your loan. And they'll give you opportunities. Maybe there's going to be, they'll tell you about opportunities in the area, whether there's a great pop-up that you should totally be a part of, or hey, there's a marketing opportunity over here, or hey, maybe you have some questions about, is this a good move for me or not? They're there to provide assistance for you and answer questions throughout the life of your loan. So it's really, really great. And the great thing is we also, if you're, like I said before, if you're getting ready to apply, you can always meet with somebody here at WIBIC to make sure that you have all your papers, that your business plan is ready, before you apply for your loan as well. So again, it's all online. This is sort of our application process. It is a process. So it is underwriting the loan request. There's obviously a lot of different information, personal information required of borrower and spouse. There's experience, credit, and viability. And then usually it can take a little bit, can be shorter, it can be longer. It also depends on the amount. If there is an SBA back need, which is over 50,000, it can take longer because there is a process for the SBA. And then of course, access to technical assistance programs as well upon arrival. Okay. You can always, of course, you have my email. If you do have further questions, because I know this is a lot of information, you can always email me as well. And if I don't have the answer, I will find it for you. Okay, let's talk about Kiva. I love Kiva. Kiva is amazing. I myself have gotten a Kiva loan. So in 2022, so just to go over what Kiva is, they're a nonprofit organization. They are a crowdfunded platform and they do nano loans up to $15,000, 0% interest. What is the catch? It is a crowdfunded. What is that? So I'm sure some of you have heard of GoFundMe. Well, this is like that. Basically, it is so you make a profile on the Kiva website. And basically, what it is, you have a profile, what you're going to use the business for, what you're going to use the money for. This is what you're going to need. You have a really nice picture, and then you have usually 30 days to raise the money, whatever you're approved for. The nice thing about it is there's no, you don't need a business plan. Of course, business plan is always good to have because it shows, you will have you need to show that you have a network. You will need to have a social media presence, and you will also need a PayPal account as well. And so basically it is you have to raise the money. You have 30 days to raise the money. So we got approved for $8,000 and we had 30 days to raise that. What that means is people, there's a private platform first. So you have to sort of show that you have a network. So you have 2 weeks to show, I think we needed 14 people to lend us, right? Lend $25. Once I show that, then it opens up to a global platform where people all over the world who are just really passionate about small business will and lend to you. And then again, you got to really, you got to put yourself out there asking, hey, lending, I will, as you pay it back, that gets distributed back to the people that helped you, that lent to you. So it's a really cool platform. Again, I got an $8,000 loan. I actually just fully paid it back in December. So that was very exciting. And so Kiva is a really good resource if you don't need those bigger loans. It's a really, really great resource. If you have any questions about it, definitely go to the website, kiva.com or kiva.org. Let me just, that is a great resource for you. And then if you do have questions or want to speak to somebody about it, you can definitely contact me and I can put you in contact with our director, Lisa Sullivan. She is wonderful. But this is just, again, another access to capital because that's what it's about. So again, this is just some of the impact for Kiva. So 663 loans, over $4 million total. In 2024, we did 142 loans, Kiva at WWBIC. So this is just through WWBIC with Kiva. So it's really, really wonderful. And think about it, 142 loans at max 15,000. So really amazing impact here just from these crowdfunded loans. And it's just really wonderful. So, what capital source is right for you? Ask questions. This is what we're here for. We have resources. Be open to feedback and options. Talk to different banks. Talk to WWBIC. What is a good resource for you? What is a good option? Is Kiva a good option for you? It might not be. Maybe a bank. Maybe you're already in business. You've been in business for a while. I would say definitely start with your bank. Always start with your bank. See what they can offer you. If not, come to us. Your bank will be able to give you lower interest rate than WWBIC can. So I always say, talk to your bank. If you don't have a bank, talk to me. I can find you a banker that can assist you. So talk to somebody. We have resources. You have people around you that can answer questions. Again, I take pride in finding you, directing you to the right person to answer your questions for you. So at this point, thank you, Savannah. You're amazing. So at this point, I know I have talked a lot. I'm going to stop sharing here. I know I didn't get too many questions in the chat box, but do we have any questions at this point? I know that was a lot of information. And what I can do is, I know that this recording will be shared with everybody that came to this. Okay, perfect. And then, what I will also do here, let me just put this, sorry, I'm to put one more because I know I was a little late, so I just wanted to throw this in there. So I encourage sorry. Oh my goodness. Here we go. I'm going to put this is our client information form in the chat box here. This is our WIBIC client information form. So as a nonprofit organization, in order to provide all the free resources that we do, we have all of our clients fill out our wonderful client information form. So if you've never filled it out, this is also a way if you're a business owner or looking to start a business, let's say so a grant comes down our pipeline, things like that, and you're in our WIBIC system, you would be notified of that. If you're looking for a meeting with somebody on my team, I will have you fill this form out anyway. Please fill this form out. If you can, that would be great. And then you have my email as well. Um, but wonderful. I know that this is a lot of information. I really appreciate everybody being here. And I would do also, we always offer free trainings on our website at wibic.com. I think I put that on the chat box already, but please go to our website. There's always free trainings available, virtual and in person. Please contact me on my email if you are interested in that 9-week series, because it's a great series. But yes, that is all I have.
Christine, do you need to be a current client to access the trainings, or is that for anyone?
Anybody,
Okay.
anybody, great question. Anybody can access it at any time. Because what'll happen is you'll register for it, and if you're a new client, then we'll send you an email saying, "Hey, thanks for registering. Go ahead and fill out this form," and then you'll be able to access it. We do ask, it's just once a year that we have people fill out the form.
Okay, thank you. And also, I'd like to thank you again for being our presenter. It was a really good informational topic, and you did a great job of
Oh,
breaking
thank
it
you.
down into little bits that were not too overwhelming. So, thank you for that. And thank you also for our attendees. I will stop the recording now and be sure to watch your email for the recorded video, which will also have a short evaluation that Savannah has come up with just to make sure that we're on the right track, UW Extension and the library, with the type of offerings that we're providing people in the area. So thank you in advance for filling that out and getting it back to us. And thank you, Christine, again for being our presenter today. Last chance for questions. Madison, Rachel, Savannah. Okay. All right. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
everyone.
everybody. Yes, thank you so much for having me. And again, you have my information in the chat box. And thank you, everybody, for coming. And I hope that this will lead you in a direction to your access to capital.